and you would, I think you would play a different jingle, and you would just like about vomit. You just fall over from the food.
の方はですね、やっぱり新しい武器を加えるとしてもですね、今まである14武器種とはやっぱり違う遊びっていうのをしっかり、提供できるような武器種である必要がありますので、まあ今後についてはまあそういうアイデアがもし出てきたら入れるかもわからない。And
since then it's just become either yeah, the meal was all right to oh fuck yeah. Food.
Well, as previously established, food is pretty nice. So,
you know, food poisoning has been eradicated in the new world.
Oh, shit. What about lactose intolerance?
That must be too, I guess. Well, no, because they don't drink cow milk, so they never had the issue to begin with.
So they might be super lactose intolerant then.
They could be. They have no reason to ever find out.
No, dual blades. Dual blades for speed.
Huh.
100%. But nothing feels so
I'm almost done with my fries.
You get that hit with the hammer and it's so heavy and it's just like, whoa.
Then you get caught and so they're on top of you. It's not fun.
I understand.
Gotta get in, gotta get out. That's not
Mankind
I
knew
agree with you, Jackie. There's like a certain kind of satisfaction.
that they could not consume dairy.
And the hit, right out of the park.
Especially against the T-Rex.
Okay, well, it's not
So they blame the machine.
It's not officially a T-Rex, Jack.
Okay,
You
I'm
know what?
sorry,
I'll
I'm
let the
sorry.
internet and your YouTube comments correct you on that.
Oh no!
That was a
I feel
good
like
one.
I asked
So
this
what's
every
going on
E3,
Monster
but
Hunter?
Golden Boy Neo is
Have questions
a
you want answered, hashtag E3
commentator
You
of a
your
game.
comments on the little ticker that goes by, and of
E-celeb.
course, voting polls throughout this.
He's an
Good-
E-celeb.
Good enough.
All day long about
I don't know either.
Capcom, 'cause of course it's coming up.
I feel like
Capcom presentation. As a rundown
I
again
feel
of
like
what
he
we
might have
know
been like a
officially
caster, but I don't know
of
what
course,
game it
being
would have been.
hosted by our friend Seltzer.
Counter
Then, we know we're gonna get stuff
Countercraft.
on Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're gonna get stuff on Monster
Star
Hunter
of
Rise.
Legends.
We're gonna get stuff on Monster Hunter Stories 2. We're gonna get Resident
Ow,
Evil
no.
Village.
I think I voted for him one year.
Said. Of course, I still hold out hope for more on Resident Evil 4 VR. I hope more on that Resident Evil multiplayer game.
Yeah.
And then if you really want to start dreaming, I know earlier you want to talk about Lost Planet like that's gonna
Sorry,
happen.
guys. I went down the rabbit hole. I don't want to get anyone's hopes
let's
up
hear it.
here. Although it would be fantastic to have it, but let's focus on what we already know. I'm looking forward to seeing
Okay, anyway,
what
so-
Resident Evil Village content
Yeah, they laid out like 4 or 5 things we know we're gonna
I'm
see.
expecting them to come out, talk
It didn't
about
sound like it sounds like
Also,
that's where our
we get some new
expectations should
stuff.
be, and not on anything new.
Okay, so I am not super into puzzle mystery games.
So let me
just to be
pull that
completely
list
honest,
up.
but
There was
I think
the
Ace Attorney just totally
new
plays
Ace
me.
Attorney,
Honestly, I'm a
not the
big
new
fan.
one, but
I
new
absolutely adore anime.
localization.
Just seeing the protagonist
Yeah.
be like, objection. Like, I'm
Monster
like,
Hunter
I am
Stories,
absolutely
Monster Hunter
100% here
Rise,
for it.
and something with
Also,
Resident
there's a
Evil
character
Village.
in there named Herlock Sholmes.
Of course.
I mean,
That's
that
Dang.
alone, I'm just like, I'm
I was thinking like
exactly,
maybe
I'm like,
Oro
oh,
release
I'm
date,
definitely
but
here for it.
Yeah, nothing about Street Fighter was mentioned.
Yeah, you'll be getting it, of course, Ace Attorney, the Chronicles here, the great.
Yeah,
Ace
when
Attorney
they
Chronicles,
announced that they were
should be
doing an
released
E3 showing, they
here on
said
July
at the same
26th.
time it's going to be
And it's about
focused
time,
on
ladies and gentlemen. This is what you
Greatest Attorney Chronicles, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Monster Hunter Rise, and Resident Evil Village.
4, 3,
Good
2,
countdown.
And then
1, go.
could be more, who knows. I wouldn't expect more. I wouldn't predict more. Just let them surprise you.
yep.
Let them surprise you when they roll out Metroid Prime 4. Oh, sorry. Here.
Ugh. E10 and up.
Oh, my TV is off, I guess.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase. I'm your host, Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we walk through the latest releases, news, and updates from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on
I hope
Ace
whatever
Attorney.
it is with... Oh,
Then we'll wrap
there's
up
that
with
Street
some
Fighter
updates
stuff.
from our friends at
Pictures.
Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting
good.
for?
Gonna get
Let's
something
get
for
started. Our
Street
first
Fighter.
stop today, Resident Evil
I hope they
Village. The Resident
announce
Evil franchise
another
continues to pioneer
video
the
of
latest
old
and
tournament
greatest in
footage.
survival horror.
Yep.
The team has been blown
I hope
away
they
by the response
announce
to
another
Resident Evil
collaboration
Village,
with a musician
which
I've never heard of.
launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year. I'm honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
Another time.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, I expect it'll be multiplayer. And technical issues, I guess, too.
I think it's time you left things in my hands. Go on, rest now.
I guess if you haven't played RE8, here's some spoilers.
Yeah, sure. It's also assumed that if you're here, you've probably seen Phil play RE8 10 times, so you probably also already know. Hope Max is ready to be disappointed for Street Fighter V. You guys don't understand. I'm playing my fighting game now. Like, literally, as we speak. They could show anything. They could announce that they are not adding Akira anymore. And I think I'd be okay. I wouldn't, I'd be really sad about that.
I'm now happy to announce that Resident Evil RE-verse will go live next month across all supported platforms. So head into the fray to celebrate
Claire's dead.
the Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
Hope she's okay. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh, okay, just DLC. Alright, awesome. Okay.
Thank you, Kanda-san, for that wonderful update.
When I think
Next
RE8
up,
and
some
popular
long-awaited
demand,
news from the world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's adventuring alongside monsters or
I
battling
think the
them
vampires.
with friends, we've got something for you. First, let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG entry to the series, Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin.
Ah, fuck. That flash. That's what it's like to get migraines.
This was his fate.
Oh yeah, stories.
Red may have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man. He never stood a chance.
All around, things just kept getting worse. But I heard that Guardian Ratha had survived and returned to Hekolu Island. I went there to see Red's old monster again.
Oh no.
Egg.
Then, of course, that's when I met you.
Chat, let me know if you hear the sirens.
You were given Red's kinship stone and now a Rathalos egg. This is destiny.
And a pretty violent storm earlier.
This is the legendary monster. Ray's wing.
For like 20 minutes.
The monster with the wings of ruin.
It said that
Yeah, we had one yesterday too, which sucked because I had to go outside and get a whole bunch of
Many people believe
stuff from outside.
there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting a strange light.
I think I'm not realizing I never actually saw what Monster Hunter Stories like was gameplay-wise. Is it like a turn-based thing?
I don't know. I don't think it is.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control
Unless I
them?
played, or unless I remember the wrong game, it still had like a, I remember a quest board kind of system still being present.
And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
What kind of power does Ratha really have?
99% sure it's turn-based. Huh.
And who are those people who want to take
That's
Ratha
kind of
for
like,
themselves?
kind of looked like what that was, although they were just showing like big special attacks.
If there's
This looks
worry or
really
doubt in your
sharp.
voice, Ratha will become anxious.
I think this is
too.
only on Switch, so
He needs to
that's
know
crazy.
that you will protect him no matter what.
I can sense the flames of his life force weakening. The burden of such great power is too much for his body to bear.
A voice.
Ooh.
Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters. Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
No.
They have the power of kinship.
After that one, I don't think I can groove with fellow humans.
Carry the strength of everyone they meet.
I'll vibe on my own,
Makes
thank
them
you.
strong. My friends here taught me that. I believe in the strength of humanity.
I believe in humanity's groove.
Which one? Like C? A? P?
Usually A. Dog.
Okay.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories
Well, that
2
wasn't new,
as one
but-
of the new Monsties in the first free title update coming
Monsties.
soon after the game's release. You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th.
Man, I don't
which
know if you've
also
been
carries
watching
your
the
progress over to
captions
the full game release just a few weeks
this
later
whole
on
E3.
July 9th.
No.
That's not the only way to join the
They're-
hunt.
they've been
Millions
struggling
of you
this whole
made
time.
Monster Hunter Rise a huge success.
Yeah, they're
earlier this year.
very clearly
We have
being
even more
typed
content
as
coming,
like it's
including a new
said.
collaboration on the Rise.
Unless you
Let's
have
find
like
out
the
more.
auto ones that like. I forget. Does Twitch do like automatic captioning?
No, they don't.
This is for my
Anyway, what's new with Rise? I'll actually play this one. Oh, June and July. Yeah, that's probably just Capcom Collab. Because on the roadmap, they don't have any new monsters anytime soon. 3.0 is last wave of new ones for a while.
What will it be? Moon's blessing emerge.
And I don't remember how
Maybe
many
just less.
Capcom collabs they said they were doing in the first month.
This is the one to add a Strider costume.
Muddy Gras. So just events. Leather pants finally. Oh, they're adding the play dead animation. I can't wait to pay for the sitting animation. Penguin.
Sakura is like my second home.
You think you can take on Rondine?
Dances.
They're vibing. They're grooving.
They're grooving. That's G groove right there. Oh, that's good. For the event picture, and it's just the dude playing dead.
There has never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan. With all the new updates
Never?
to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster
Being a
Hunter
Monster Hunter
Stories
fan
2
must be
this
pretty
summer.
boring if that
We
was the
can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not
Yeah.
the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore. with the release of the Great Ace
Damn,
Attorney
apparently
Chronicles.
this show's like 15 minutes
North
long.
American and European future attorneys will finally be able to
No,
get
yeah,
their hands
there
on
were
the Great Ace Attorney
no new
adventures
monsters on the
and
roadmap for a
Great
while,
Ace Attorney
so
2 Resolve,
probably
which were
just
previously
just show the
only
collab
available in
stuff.
Japan. You'll travel back
This is
in
a bigger
time
deal,
to the
though.
late 19th century Japan and
Yeah,
London
this is good.
to play as Ryunosuke
Oh, we're in Japan
Naruhodo,
now? Never mind.
Phoenix Wright's ancestor in this
Yeah, I liked
action-packed
Phoenix
prequel.
Wright when it took
Now,
place
let's
in
hear
Los
more about the
Angeles.
story.
So then, let us unravel this mystery.
I don't get it. Why would Mr. Phoenix have ancestors in Japan?
Great Britain's mighty capital.
I was gonna say this actually doesn't take place in Japan.
Never mind. Okay.
It takes place in Britain.
So then, let us
We win
unravel this
again.
mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Who are you? Herlock Sholmes.
Every time I see or hear Herlock Sholmes, I think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Let us engage in the art of deduction, Mr. Naruhodo.
I hope he's in the next Capcom crossover fighting game.
It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
Sholmes.
The defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
And then Dracula is the prosecutor.
You mean Down Cracula?
Down Cracula? Oh,
You're the best lawyer in the world.
Not from a Japanese series, that's not his name.
So we have 10 new cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney. Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look at 2 gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles: Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
He's really excited.
Hello, I'm Jonathan.
About Ace Attorney
Capcom's
Chronicles.
marketing brand manager for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
Hey, all studios, please just do your E3 conferences like this from now on. Where a person standing in front of a TV goes, "This is the next trailer I'm going to show you."
Deduction and summation examination.
Completely dry, no humor.
They can still say things.
They
but
can still
can't-
say things.
But they can't say it with like any inflection at all.
While investigating to prove your
That'd be
client's
the best.
innocence,
I want like
players will
I
come
want like a
across
speak and spell
conspicuous situations
to
that
announce the
require
next
further
game.
examination with the help of Ryunosuke's legal aid Susato and the brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock.
Could they at least like give him a nickname? Like Locke?
Herlock will proceed to present his logic
His
and
name's
reasoning
Sholmes.
spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed
Show me.
series of conjectures.
No, not the dubious looking Russian. Doesn't it get fully voice acted?
The trailer made me think so.
I thought they announced that like when they first did the reveal trailer for it.
Maybe they didn't finish.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's
Bought the
deductions.
Ace Attorney trilogy on Switch. I still haven't started it yet though. I'll probably grab this too because everyone says Ryunosuke is
At this
the
point,
boy,
players will be
is
prompted
the
to
Giga
search for
Chad.
clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery.
Observe the beard.
As players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the dance of deduction.
I thought it was a scarf.
I love all the snapping.
And it startles him every single time.
So much snapping.
He plays it with Johnny Test whips.
Oh, please no. That's the girl from Code Vein.
Wow, she's guilty?
Or I guess the girl from Code Vein had a really exciting life after Phoenix Wright.
I thought it would stop at a baller.
Deduction complete. Balling.
In courtroom battles, players will attempt to convince 6 jurors of the innocence of their client. Their progress will be displayed and represented by 2 scales of justice, one black, representing a guilty verdict, and one white, representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In summation examination, take the stand to face off against the jurors.
That are apparently an
Provide
embarrassment.
explanations as to why they've reached their guilty verdict.
You'll have to identify conflicting statements and sway the jury in your favor. Examine each statement carefully and select 2 contradicting jurors to call out the flaws in their logic.
Hey, guys, that juror has like a knife and he just keeps swinging it around.
Objection!
The little hair bounce.
Be ready to provide
Exact
evidence
same
from the court
judge.
record to help prove the contradiction in their
He's been
claims.
alive for a very long time.
When you successfully point out one of these contradictions among the jurors, you might just change their minds, too. With a slam of their fist, each juror you persuade will send a fiery ball towards the scales above and literally tip the scales of justice in your favor.
Isn't this the definition
Bring
of
each
jury
contradiction to
tampering?
light and persuade the jury to help prove your client's innocence.
Oh yeah, they are the jury, huh? Yes, then yeah, absolutely, yeah.
With all due respect, this is an outrage.
Yeah, but he's a hero. Oh my
This
god.
has just been a small taste of the exciting
Should he be
new
drinking on the
gameplay
job?
features in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
I
We
don't
are
think you
very
should throw
excited
alcohol
to
at
get
a
this
fire.
game in the hands of both new fans
Mm.
and diehard fans alike.
Is wine flammable though?
A little bit.
It already seems like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out.
No!
Rob TV and Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the
All right,
Capcom
let's see which
Pro
one of my
Tour,
friends appears in
Intel
this
World
one.
Open, Street Fighter League, and all the other content on Capcom Fighters. Over to you guys.
Can we talk about C Sports?
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Capcom esports presentation for E3 2021. My name is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour as well as Street Fighter League, here with competitive Street Fighter 5
That's crazy,
player
man.
and host extraordinaire.
When is Evo?
Hollywood.
Actual
Rob TV.
Evo.
What's going on, Rob?
Oh my goodness, Vicious.
August?
Extraordinaire. That just
I think
sounds beautiful.
August.
It has a ring to it. And
So,
I think that's
a bit
the
out.
perfect word to describe what we have for everyone
Plenty of
today.
time to make
Street
announcements
Fighter
beforehand.
5, Capcom E3.
That's probably
it
where
just
we'll
feels
see.
right and you feel the
Oh,
electricity
well,
in
that's
the
definitely
air.
not where we're going to see the first Guilty Gear character because they come out in July.
Nasty. And there might be some people at home, Vicious, who don't fully know what competitive Street Fighter 5 is. The long and the short of it is this.
God, I wish that were me.
all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in your region, sign up for Capcom Pro Tour to prove it and become possibly a world champion at Street Fighter 5.
The double perfect, the way he looked at the camera like,
It's almost infuriating that the game's entire existence revolved around promoting the esports, and now we're at the end of its life, and we're still going. If you haven't heard,
if you haven't heard of fighting games, it's when one man punches another man really hard until they die.
Item just reset in grand finals of Capcom Cup.
So behind me, you can see in all of its glory.
I wish Virtua Fighters Online worked, because honestly, of any fighting game to turn into an e-sport, Virtua Fighter is the one.
That's right. We take all of our events.
It's easily accessible. It's free. You don't have a bunch of weird characters that scare normies. Like a bear.
We have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across 19
Bed
different
man.
territories. So there's so many opportunities for players from around the world to get that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was into what we could expect for 2021.
And Mago is your first qualifier for Japan for the Capcom Pro Tour.
Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters channel, you can do so on a plethora of platforms. We have it on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course,
also, if you're the type to watch E3, you definitely know what this is, because they would do an E3 tournament like every year for Street Fighter V and Street Fighter 4.
We have on Capcom Fighters. We have No Neutral, the official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world.
I just looked up. Why did it say No Neutral?
Not only that, actually,
that's an event I think they're doing.
Season after season, non-stop action. 6 teams of 3 duke it out in this battle tournament series.
It'd be a lot funnier if it was another game.
And the $150,000.
I will say, Jesse and I watched the most recent Red Bull Kumite, and it was probably the best Street Fighter V I've watched. It was very exciting.
Yeah, I wish it was just
cool now.
I just wish it was that way from the beginning.
Pretty much, yeah.
He checks it. He checks the movement. What's happening?
It's so good.
Wait, what?
Let's not forget, the Intel World Opening is happening right now. Top players representing 11 regions around the world are competing for their place in the World Finals happening.
My problem with Street Fighter V is they need to delist any version that isn't Arcade Edition
including current standings
or Champion Edition. Like, they have to delist them. People don't understand because they will not read.
Exclusive competitor title and dojo object.
Well, they read it's free.
I highly recommend
but not Arcade Edition.
Stay tuned for future
and it lets them put it on cheaper sales than what it actually is.
And again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with the Japan region. We've had a couple of more events going on afterwards, but the action does not stop. In fact, we're going to be continuing off with the Midwest region for the Capcom Pro Tour. I know you're definitely excited about that.
100%. I mean, of course, your boy is from Ohio. Make sure you guys tune in to see the tournament.
Jesse showed me a mod too on PC that removes, like,
Street Fighter V players.
I didn't notice a black outline around everything.
Like a black shader.
Into, like,
you guys really
it's specifically an outline
in the world.
What's up?
I said, you guys seriously not want to miss the top Street Fighter V players in the world this E3?
Jesse, I don't know if you've heard of what Street Fighter is. It's when 2 characters punch each other until their health bar goes all the way down.
I don't know if I fundamentally agree with that. You're right. I should have thought about the consequences.
Don't agree with it.
I don't agree.
Yeah, I don't know about that,
you
actually.
don't agree.
I don't necessarily see eye to eye on that issue politically, so I'm gonna kind of keep that with.
God damn it.
I'll let the pass, but Capcom can do what it wants.
When is Oro gonna like jump out of a box and go, I surprised you?
It's been a really exciting season so far.
Wow,
and
no, that was
can't
it.
wait to see how this
It was just
plays
an ad.
out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember
What
to
a
check out
bummer.
Capcom Fighters
I
Twitch
really
and
thought they
YouTube
were
channels
gonna-
for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom
Yeah, that was
at
just an
E3
ad.
this year. Let's
Man,
recap what we all
that was an
saw.
ad more than usual.
Resident Evil Village is back with the latest installment of the survival horror experience.
I think that was the only
and
announcement
RE
was
as part of the
unnamed,
franchise's
unstarted
25th
pre-production
anniversary.
DLC for
We have
RE8.
new adventures to
Yeah,
embark
and it was
on
like
in
a
the world
black
of
title
Monster
card.
Hunter.
That was the
Monster
only
Hunter
new
Stories
announcement.
2, Wings of Ruin,
Wow.
and Monster
Everything else
Hunter
is already
Rise.
known.
And don't forget to go back in time with
I know-
the great
I
Ace
know-
Attorney
Well, Ace
Chronicles.
Attorney,
Fighter
that's new
DLC.
Tap into
footage.
the family history of
Yeah,
Phoenix Wright
I know
and solve
Street
new
Fighter
cases.
DLC doesn't necessarily
Finally,
mean like
don't miss
it's
out
not
on the
E3
esports
material
fun.
for most,
Make
but
sure you
I'm
catch
just
the
surprised that it was
latest
just
matches with Capcom
only
Fighters.
esports mentioned
there
for
really
that game.
is something for everyone here today.
Yeah.
But don't go
I'm
anywhere
sick
yet.
of watching
Join the
Street
conversation
Fighter
on
5
Twitter and
esports
make
sizzle
sure you
reels.
check out
I
the
don't want to
Capcom
watch them
virtual
anymore.
booth.
I know. I mean,
watch
I'm
all
very
these
involved
videos
with that
again
world,
and
and
more.
I'm getting
I'm
really
Rachel
tired of
Querico,
it.
aka Seltzer.
It's mostly just because
Thank
it's
you
the
for
same
being
song they
part
use
of
for
the
almost all of
Capcom
them.
experience at E3 this year.
Yeah.
But was that the whole Capcom?
That was all. That was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Well,
I mean, there was also a reason it was only on E3 stream. Fuck, I hate that effect.
the stroby one.
Yeah, that is what, when
Yeah.
you get a migraine and you have aura, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate it. I hate being reminded of that.
Right. Jesus.
Anyway.
Virtual booth? What am I gonna do with the virtual booth?
Just spam it saying when's aura. That's what everyone else is gonna do.
Virtually have Steve grab your arm.
Steve, my arm! Steve will
What's
smash
next?
the glass pane, protecting you from him. I didn't think of another text one.
I don't even know what else is today. Was that the last big one, or no? There's more.
For us, that's the last thing we cared about.
Right.
So we'll be back tomorrow. Nintendo is at noon, and then Bandai Namco is at 5:25, and then E3 Awards at the end of the day at 7:45.
Mm-hmm.
So, but for now, that's it. For the stream, then we will Monday. Pop's gonna be live, maybe. We'll see if he is. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be live, continuing Battle Network 6, and I also have more cards to open. I got a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon boosters, so...
Nice.
That'll be the plan. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and until tomorrow, till tonight, go to bed.
Go to bed, take a nap.